What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are back again with another off-season rebuild as we're circling back to some of those teams that were eliminated in the first round. We still have the Hawks, the Grizzlies, and as you can see today, we're doing the Timberwolves. It's safe to say this season did not go as planned for Minnesota. They got the A seed out of winning from the play-in tournament. This team had higher aspirations of being way better than that, so it's safe to say we need to fix some things in Minnesota. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. As always, greatly appreciated. It helps me grow, and it's, like I mentioned, greatly appreciated. Regardless, talking about Minnesota for a second, man. I think us as NBA fans are very reactionary. Based off what we just saw from Minnesota, we would be like, okay, it's time to trade Cat. It's time to trade Gobert and get whatever you can for him. I don't see that actually happening. I think Minnesota is going to blame the fact that these two missed so much time together and Cat missed so much time this season. They're going to run it back with some small changes. That's just my feeling. That's just what I'm thinking they're going to do. Now, if you want to see me do a Timberwolves rebuild where I actually like trade Cat from the jump, I did do a rebuild about that like a few weeks ago where I unleashed Anthony Edwards. I believe I literally titled it, I traded Cat so I can unleash Anthony Edwards. So if you want to check that out, you can. Today, at least to start things off, I'm not promising throughout the whole video, I'm going to run it back. I'm going to leave Cat and Gobert together because I just feel like that's what Minnesota is going to actually do. And if things aren't changing from there, then we can really consider what we need to do as far as maybe trading one or the other. Because if you trade Gobert, you're definitely not getting near as much as you gave up for him. And I think owners and guys, or the guys that gave up so much they did, they're too prideful to be like, okay, this didn't work out, we're giving up and trading Gobert for pennies on the dollar. They're not going to do that, obviously. If there was one player that could be traded for some assets, it would be Cat, but I'm not going to do that. So let's just get straight in this offseason. Now that I've done my ramble about the Timberwolves and what I think is going to happen this offseason, of course, we're not going to have our first round pick. The Blazers get number 1, though. That's cool. Jazz have our first round pick, which is at pick 16. But like I mentioned, we're not going to be doing anything crazy as far as trading Cat or Gobert, at least to start things off. But I do have a few minor adjustments, small changes I want to make to this team to upgrade what we can. So that is what I plan on doing. After the draft, I have a certain guy in mind that I think makes a ton of sense, at least in the 2K simulation and in real life. And he once upon a time actually used to play for Minnesota. So you might know who I'm talking about. So I'll be trading for him after draft night. Today's video is brought to you by Prize Picks. The NBA playoffs are officially upon us, and there's no better way to get more out of the NBA playoffs that you're watching with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a player props app that allows you to bet overs or unders on the players you love watching. Let me show you the website. Prize Picks is available on mobile or desktop. Currently, we're on the desktop version, and you're going to be opened up with this. Basically, you have every sport you can imagine. You got tennis, soccer, PGA, CSGO if you're into stuff like that, MMA, but we're here for the NBA. The play-in tournament is officially starting, and I'm looking at some of these props right here, and I'm feeling juicy. So all you basically do, you can choose between 2 to 6 players. This is my favorite way of getting more out of the game I'm watching. I'm already going to watch the game, so might as well have some fun with it. So let's say I wanted to go Clint Capella over points, and let's say I want to go like maybe over Tyler Hero's prop as well. You just go more and more. 3 or 2 players is 3 times your money, and you can go all the way up to 25 times with 6 players. If you're still unsure about it, here are some examples of winnings I've had in the past, and you can go ahead and sign up with my link down in the description below. Use code Crushables. They're matching your deposit dollar for dollar up to $100 for first-time users. Thank you, Prize Picks, for sponsoring today's video. So on draft night, I went ahead and drafted Marcus Sasser and Jalen Clark, but don't get too attached to these two guys because they might be moved here in this trade I'm about to make. Player options, I'm going to go ahead and look at this. So Anthony Edwards, of course, that's a no-brainer. We accept that. Mike Conley, on the other hand, I think he's the perfect point guard for Minnesota. The problem I have with him is he's 35 years old, and we know how that goes in 2K. When someone is over the age of 30, it just doesn't go well. It never does. It's just how it goes. So I think I'm going to decline that $24 million because I have a new point guard in mind. As far as Taurean Prince is concerned, I think I'm going to actually accept that, and these two I'm going to let go. So I'm going to accept those, and then I'm going to make that trade that I've been talking about. So one thing we need to mention is the fact that Kyle Anderson and Gobert, there's a chance that these two may not like each other anymore because of what we saw at the end of the season, and then we heard that leak that was in the locker room where Kyle Anderson's yelling. So I think there's a chance they might have to choose between one or the other, and we know who they would choose. So I'm going to be trading slow-mo here, and I'm going for this guy to be our new starting point guard. He's a backup in Memphis, and that is Tyus Jones. He started his career in Minnesota. I think he'd actually be perfect for what we need. He makes all the right decisions. I think he'd be perfect as a point guard next to Anthony Edwards. We don't need him to score too much. He does all the right things. He can pass first. He's more of a pass-first point guard. I love the idea of Tyus Jones back in Minnesota. So I don't know if Memphis would do this straight up. They want Marcus Sasser and they'll give me a first round pick. I think that's a little too steep. I think if if anything, I feel like Memphis would value Tyus Jones a lot more than that. So I'm okay with just Sasser and Anderson for Tyus Jones. And Tyus Jones is our new starting point guard. And honestly, think that's perfect. He's going to fit exactly what we need. And I feel really good about bringing him in. We're going to have to re-sign him, but that's fine. He's back in Minnesota. I think he fits perfectly for what we need at that point guard spot. Because McDaniels is going to score, which we're going to try to get him to score more. Cat's going to score, and Edwards is going to score. So Gobert's obviously going to play defense, rebound, and Tyus Jones could just be another guy, but be that pass-first playmaking point guard that we need him to be. So I feel good about that first player we brought in. Nickeil Alexander-Walker actually turned up in the playoffs a little bit, so I wouldn't mind bringing him back. And then free agency time. I know we have a lot of good free agents, like Naz Reid is somebody who I think a lot of teams would love to have a guy like Naz Reid. He could probably be a starting center somewhere, to be honest with you. If he really got a chance, I feel like he could, pop off. But Tyus Jones, Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, Taurean Prince, who we brought back, Karl-Anthony Towns, Gobert. We essentially have no bench right now. If you really look at things, we don't have a bench whatsoever. So we definitely need to fix that. So let's go into our bird rights because we have a lot of guys we can resign. So Conley, it says I can resign him, and maybe I wouldn't mind bringing him back. So we could definitely consider that. Naz Reid, I think, obviously, like I mentioned, I do want to bring him back. I think he could be really good as a starter, like I said. But hey, if he wants to come back to Minnesota to be our backup, that is totally fine with me. That would be a really good backup. Jalen Noel, same thing. I'm going to bring him back as well. Young point guard who might keep progressing. And then Alexander Walker, he's a restricted free agent, so I'm going to try to bring him back after moratorium. And I think that's going to be it. And I think we can sign someone else as well, which I think we need another forward. So if we look at the forwards that are available, we have like Kenrich Williams, Javonte Green, Reggie Bullock. But then I see like Trey Lyles, who's turned up in Sacramento. And I really like the idea of that. So I'm going to go for Trey Lyles. And this is going to be our signing. So I might not renounce Mike Conley. It's going to be Lyles, Jalen Noel, and Naz Reid. And I'm going to try to get Alexander Walker after moratorium, like I mentioned. So we're going to sign those guys. Those are going to all be perfect. And then let's go ahead and re-sign Alexander Walker. I'm going to give him a 3-year deal. So we're going to have our bench like locked up, which is great. And then Conley, I guess I'll give him a 2-year deal. I mean, worst case scenario, we can flip his contract and we'll bring him back, and that will be our offseason. So like I mentioned, not crazy amount of changes. I'm essentially just kind of running it back. So Conley, Noel, you're going to have Alexander Walker, Taurean Prince, you're going to have Trey Lyles, and you have Naz Reid and Gobert. And I'm going to have like Prince's contract and Mike Conley's contract that I could throw together at the deadline potentially if I need to. So we're going to run it back with this, and we're going to see what player progression is looking like. So we have Edwards up to an 87. Cat stays the same. Gobert is down. McDaniels is up. I really want to try to progress McDaniels like crazy if I can. Alexander Walker is up. Wendell Moore is up. So that's all looking really good. So let's go look at our rotation now that we've assembled everything together. And based off how this season goes, we'll react to that. So we're giving it one more chance, seeing if this can work out where they're fully healthy together. They're all going to be in the court for all 82 games here in this 2K simulation. If it works out, then we can just keep rolling with it. If it does not, then we might sell Gobert or we might sell Cap. Power ranking only gives us 25. They still want to start Mike Conley, which I can understand, but honestly, I want Tyus Jones to be that starter. I really do. So Mike Conley, I kind of brought you back for your salary. If you can be someone I can move at the deadline, that's probably what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make sure he's not a starter. I really want Tyus Jones to be that guy. So Mike Conley is going to come off the bench, and Tyus Jones will be that starter. So it's going to be Jones, Edwards, McDaniels, Cat, Gobert, Conley, Naz Reid, Trey Lyles, Jalen Noel, and then Alexander Walker. So I guess I can move Noel to the 2 for now. He might go down in overall, which actually stays the same. So he's going to be that 2 for us since Conley's playing that backup point guard right now. And then I want to change the shot tendencies. So shot tendencies, Edwards only 85. I want that up to literally a 99. I want him taking as many shots as possible. Cat, I'm going to push up to like a 95. And then McDaniels, same thing. I want him taking a bunch of shots as well. I want to see him progress like crazy. So I'm going to push it up to an 86. And then let's change his touch tendency a little bit to like an 80 or something like that. So I'm going to run with that. We're going to still play this season. I might see all the trade deadline. I may not. Might wait till the offseason. We'll see. So we have stopped at the trade deadline, and we're currently 3 games under 500. I'm not really proud of what's going on right now, but I'm going to try to make a trade with Philadelphia. We're going to be getting Jay McDaniels' brother and Jalen McDaniels to bring him in. He's actually playing pretty terrible right now, but hopefully just bringing him in might change that. I'm offering a 2nd-round pick on top of it. It's going to be Conley, 2nd for Korkmaz and Jalen McDaniels. So that is going to be something we bring in. McDaniels is going to be more depth at that small forward spot. So we have Tyus Jones, Edwards, McDaniels, Gobert, Cat. I said those backwards, but you get the point. Naz Reid, Lyles, Jalen Noel, and Alexander Walker. So what I can do now is move Jalen Noel back to that point guard spot. He'll be that new backup point guard again. Tyus Jones is playing great. I'm so glad we brought him in. And now I'm at the point where, should I trade Gobert right now while I can? Should I do that is the question. I feel like this is the best point to get rid of him if I'm going to, because there's a certain team that I think might be willing to take his services, but like, I don't know. Should I pull the plug on it right now, or should I keep rolling with it? Let's see. If I don't get rid of him now, what's going to be another time for me to get rid of him? Because I said I was going to run it back, give it a chance, and we're 3 games under 500. I think it's safe to say Minnesota would not be happy with that. So I kind of want to pull the plug on it. I'm going to be honest with you. And I have a certain trade in mind that I think could make some sense, that I could trade Gobert. Now, if I'm trading Gobert, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not getting nearly as much as I gave up for him. Trust me, I'm not. But in this scenario, at least be getting rid of this terrible, terrible contract that we have in Gobert that we're locked in the next 3 years. But at the same time, I wonder if I should just keep him. It's tough to say, but I think if I don't get rid of him now, it's going to be hard to get rid of him. So, you know what? Last time I did Crushables rebuild, I traded Cat. Today, we're trading Gobert. We're trading Gobert here. I got to do it. So here's the idea that I had in mind for trading Rudy Gobert. So basically, we're trading him for scraps. We're just getting rid of this contract. We're just scraping this away. We realized this wasn't the best fit. We made a wrong decision. This is what we'd be doing here. So it's Gobert for Hardaway, Bertans, Kleba in 2 seconds. We'd be walking with 2 second-round picks as our main assets. One thing we are getting out of this, though, is Tim Hardaway's expiring salary, and then Bertans is going to be expiring next year as well if we accepted his team option. So that's $34 million that we could throw in a trade. We are getting Kleba's long-term contract as well. But honestly, this would just be kind of giving us a clear slate, giving more spacing to the floor. I don't know if Minnesota would really do this. I don't even know if Dallas is going to accept this. I'm going to offer it. They agree. We've done it. Gobert is gone. We've realized this is not working. We're 3 games under 500, and that is just what we needed to make. That's the decision we needed to make. I'm moving Cat back to center. He'll be the new starting center again. And you know what? We're doing it. That's what we did. So now it's Tyus Jones, Edwards, Tim Hardaway starting at the 3, which I don't like. Trey Lyles, Cat, and then I'm moving McDaniels back to the starting small forward. And then we got Hardaway, Nasri Noel, Alexander Walker, and then McDaniels as well. So we have a lot of depth. Yeah. I wanted to take care of that. I just don't think the Gobert thing was going to work out. 3 games under 500 right now. I'm not proud of that whatsoever. So I thought that was our best chance to get rid of him because Dallas has so many bad salaries. So that's why I went ahead and did that. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. So at the end of the season, we fell out bad, actually. We ended up missing the playoffs, 35-47, 12th seed in the Western Conference. One thing I think we do have, though, is our first-round pick. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure we have our first-round pick, but we did get progression out of Edwards, Cat, and then McDaniels averaged 16, which is great. Hardaway with 14. I don't plan on keeping him. He's going to be an asset that I use this offseason, hopefully. And then with our first-round pick, hopefully I can get us somebody really good. So that is kind of the game plan at this point. Let's simulate the playoffs, and let's go ahead and see who's going to win the championship. It'll probably be Atlanta because Atlanta just always wins for whatever reason. And we got the Hawks going on to win the championship. So shout out to them. Player retirements, you're going to have Kevin Love, Batum, Gallinari. I'm pretty sure we have our first-round pick. If I'm wrong here, that's going to suck, but I'm pretty sure we own it. We shall see. So pick 8. Looks like we're projected pick 8. So, you know, getting some lottery luck here could change everything. We could use this pick to make a trade. Whatever we decide to do. We got Oklahoma City via Washington. Let's just skip the results. I don't want to wait and watch. Let's just see if we find a way to jump up. And we are going to be pick 8. So I still a lottery pick, though. Utah has number 1. We can trade that lottery pick on draft night, and we can use that asset as our trade. So, or as our big trade asset, I guess you can say. So staff signing. I am going to fire Chris Finch as well. I think it's safe to say if this was another season where we didn't make the playoffs, it's probably, you know, bye-bye Chris Finch. So, or I guess they made it and then obviously didn't make it this year. You get the point. Nick Nurse is still out here, and of course he was fired by Toronto. So if he's going to be here, I'm going to give him a contract. And we're going to get Nick Nurse to be our brand new head coach in Minnesota. And I'm going to grab a perimeter defensive coach and a shot doctor. And I will see you guys on draft night where hopefully I can execute a big trade. We shall see. So here we are with that 8th overall pick in this draft. And one thing we do need is a new starting forward. I'm going to lock in Tyus Jones at the starting point guard spot. And of course, Edwards and Cat are locked in at the shooting guard in the center. And then McDaniels is one of the starting forwards, whether he's the power forward or the small forward. And I was kind of looking at the market for forwards we can bring in that aren't free agents right now that we can make a trade before draft night. And I landed on 2 different guys. And, you know, honestly, either one of them would be great, but one of them makes more sense than the other. So if we take a look at our options, so the 2 guys I landed on was Denver's Aaron Gordon to be our new power forward, although they are contending. And then on the other side of things, you have the Knicks with RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett has recently turned up in real life in the playoffs, but he is a very inconsistent forward. So I could see in real life where the Knicks might be wanting to get rid of him down the line. So this is like, what, a year down the line now, so maybe they'd be wanting to get rid of him. If I threw that 8th overall pick at them with some salary filler, would they say no to that? I don't know, because they are rebuilding right now. But I think Aaron Gordon makes a little bit more sense, especially if I want to see a jump from McDaniels, which is why I'm hesitant to go for RJ Barrett. So if we go to Denver and we try to convince them to give us Aaron Gordon, who I think would be perfect, I'm going to try to do this first because I think it would make a lot more sense. He's not going to score too much, won't take away from McDaniels, so I'm trying to progress. So if I threw like maybe like Naz Reid at them, who I think they would covet very nicely. So I'm going to throw like Naz Reid, and let's say it's Hardaway. I would prefer to just throw Hardaway at them, but I don't think they're going to say yes to this, especially since their current intel is contending. I don't know if I feel comfortable with giving them 8th overall either. I think that's a little insane. So I'm going to offer that first. And yeah, they're saying they're contending. If I give us first round pick swap in a second and a couple seconds, they agree. So we got Aaron Gordon, who I think is going to make a lot more sense anyway. So Aaron Gordon's our new starting power forward here in Minnesota. Absolutely love that. And we didn't even have to give up pick 8 either. So we still have pick 8 on top of everything else. So we can bring in like a really good bench score to change everything. So we could also make another trade because we still have Naz Reid's salary. If we really wanted to go crazy here, we could technically bring in RJ, but that's just overkill. So I'm just going to draft someone at 8 and call it a day. So pick 8, we are going to be drafting. I mean, we can get like Collier or Ron Holland. Either way, we're walking away pretty good. Or you can bring in LeBron James. So which one do we want? That was the question. Right now we have guards. So Alex Sarr, I mean, I guess I'm going to take Ron Holland. Ron Holland's going to be the pick. He'll be our brand new forward. He'll be a nice backup. He'll be a 77 overall, so he's going to probably crack the rotation immediately. Player options, Bertans, I'm going to decline. We don't need it anymore. Qualifying offers, McDaniels and Edwards. Gonna have to pay some absolute bags too, which is also another good thing that we didn't go for RJ, because we're gonna have to pay some money. Tyus Jones is gonna need a bag as well. I'm giving him a 4-year deal, 16.75, and I'm gonna wait for these other two to get their offers, or I'm gonna sign them. So we're going to be spending some money. The Raptors are trying to get him. Obviously, I'm not going to allow that. So we're going to get Edwards back. And then McDaniels is not asking for a crazy amount either, which is great. So we are definitely in the luxury tax like crazy, but I think this is going to be worth it. So looking at this roster now that we've done what we've done, we have Tyus Jones, Jalen Noel. We have Anthony Edwards, Clark. We traded Alexander Walker. That's right. So I could have drafted a guard, whatever. We have McDaniels and Ron Holland. I should have drafted a guard. Now that I forgot I had McDaniels, but Trey Lyles, Aaron Gordon, and then Cat and Naz Reid. So this is looking good in my opinion. We're gonna run it back with what we got, and I think this is gonna turn up. I think the simulation is gonna turn up for us. We traded away Cat. Everyone is going up. Edwards is up to a 91. Aaron Gordon is up. McDaniels. So everything is looking good. I think this roster is built to succeed. I really do. I think that we gotten rid of that Cat Gobert logjam. That is gone. We tried that experiment. Did not work out. Yes, we traded Gobert for pennies on the dollar. But look what we've turned it into. We got Aaron Gordon out of it. So feeling pretty good. Let's go ahead and jump into this next season. Look at this rotation. Power King only is going to land us to 22. But it's Tyus Jones, Edwards, McDaniels, Aaron Gordon, Cat, Lyles, Naz Reid, Jalen Noel, and Ron Holland. And then McDaniels is going to be more depth. So proficiency, 3.5 for centric. Can we be a 4-star at balance? We cannot. I'm going to go to a 7 seconds. We're going to run it back. And we're going to hope and pray that this team can be a lot better of a contender and actually make the playoffs. Luka wins the MVP award, averaging 38 and 10. Booker's Rookie of the Year in San Antonio. Rozier, 6th man in Charlotte, still a mobile defense player. Scoot Henderson, most improved in Orlando. And Quinn Snyder, Coach of the Year as Atlanta. 65 and 17. They're always so stupid good. It makes no sense. But all NBA first team, Steph, Luka, Tatum, Giannis, Jokic. I'm going to assume we might get Edwards. We do not. So no Anthony Edwards, which kind of sucks. All defense first team and all. We got him on all defensive team, which is great. Portland got the 1 seed. We got the 2nd seed. So things turned up exactly how we wanted it to. Edwards averaged 30 points per game. Love to see it. 18.5 from Cat, 15 from McDaniels, 12 from Aaron Gordon, 11 from Naz Reid, and then 10 and 9 from Tyus Jones. Exactly what I needed out of that starting point guard spot. Don't need someone to score that, that much. We get those 9 assists, and then he's shooting 37% from 3. You really can't ask for much more. So love that Tyus Jones is our point guard. Trey Lyles, really nice bench addition, but he will be gone after the season. Ron Holland, and then Jalen Noel, and then I think McDaniels, the other McDaniels, will be taking over for Trey Lyles' role, unless we can resign Trey Lyles. We'll see. But let's go ahead and see if we can win a championship. I mean, we technically have a good roster. I just don't know if this is going to work. So we have John Morant, Malik Monk, Warren, Jaren Jackson, Adam. So they lost Desmond Bane, which is interesting. Did they keep Slow-Mo, or is he gone too? So they did not keep Slow-Mo. They drafted LeBron, which we could have as well. But regardless, someone in current round. I feel like we should beat Memphis, get some revenge for, you know, a couple years ago. And we beat them 4-1. They take one game on us as, let's go look at that closeout game. If I can look at it correctly. Let's see. I can't look at it correctly, apparently. Box score. Edwards 27, McDaniels 21. And McDaniels can just be like super good, averaging 18 in the playoffs. Exactly what you'd want. Shot 50% from 3 in that first series. That is amazing. Now we get Dallas, which is ironic because, of course, we gave them Gobert. The reason why I gave them Gobert, because we all know Dallas needs to improve their defense. So, I mean, I don't know if they'd be that desperate to go out and go get Gobert for that. But, you know, they got Vanderbilt and Gobert. That's a really nice defensive front, so that could work. They did lose Kyrie. They have Jaden Hardy, Josh Green. So, definitely interesting. But I feel like we're a better team. We'll see what happens. Game 1, 135-119, 24-8 from Edwards, 23 from Cat. Game 2, 2-0, 139-125, 34-33. So far, so good. 2-1. Dallas does get one on us. 35, 39 from Luka, 29 from Jaden Hardy. So Jaden Hardy's turning up, averaging 20 in the playoffs. Game 4, big one, and we let them even it up. Of course we do. It's Luka Doncic, 45, 8-8. Can we take Game 5? Edwards at 45. It did not matter. Game 5, big one here, and they're up 3-2 on us. So unfortunate. Okay, we're gonna have to force a Game 7 if we want any chance of getting past Dallas, which really is annoying. We'll go to an 8-man rotation, and let's see what this is about to look like. So here we go. Game 6 in Dallas. If we beat them here, we go back in front of those Minnesota fans that are so passionate. Can we get it done, though, is the question. And we took the lead for a second, but Dallas took it right back, and now they're running away with it, and we are going to get eliminated. Oh, we almost came back at the end, but eliminated in round 2. That's a step up from last year, I guess. Let's see the playoffs, and we got Luka and Trae Young. Hawks make it once again, and you're going to have the Hawks go on to win it all. One unfortunate thing I'm already seeing is Aaron Gordon declined his player option. I was low-key hoping he would accept it, but unfortunately he declined it. So that's more money we're going to have to pay. Wendell Moore, I'm going to accept his team option. And then qualifying offers, Clark. I'm not worried about him, to be honest with you. So the main thing I need to do is re-sign Aaron Gordon. He's asked for like literally the same amount he was going to get. So I guess we would just be locking up more long-term. So that's fine. I'm going to give him a 3-year deal. Aaron Gordon will be back. We gave up assets to get him, so there's no reason to not bring him back. So we bring back Aaron Gordon, and that's going to lock us up pretty good. And then power forward position. We can still bring back Trey Lyles if we wanted to. Do I want to bring him back, or do I want to give like McDaniels that role? Holland, McDaniels, Kleba. Forgot we even have Kleba. If I move McDaniels to the 4 to back up his brother, or whatever it may be, I'm going to do it. I'm going to move McDaniels to the 4. We're going to let him play a little bit. That way we don't have to spend too much money on Lyles, and then Holland will be that backup 3 who might progress a little bit more. And then it wouldn't hurt to be, you know, bringing in a shooting guard as well, which I see like Chris Duarte, or reunite with Malik Beasley. Why not? 1-year deal, minimum contract. That ain't gonna cost us too much money. We'll do something like that, and I'm gonna renounce Trey Lyles, unfortunately. So that's what we're rolling with. Let's go to player progression, see if McDaniels goes up anymore. That'd be great if he did. We shall see. Let's see what the moment of truth is. Edwards 92, 88. McDaniels only up, you know, 1 overall to an 83. Not too bad. Ron Holland is up 2. And Kleba's the only one that went down. So we're going to run it back. We got to round 2 last year. Let's see if this year we can go even further. So at the end of the season, we finished up as the 3rd seed in the West. I came super close to pulling off a big trade at the deadline, but I decided not to do it. But Edwards averaged 28, 21 from Cat, 15 from McDaniels, 13 from Ron Holland. It would have involved Ron Holland, and I think he's really starting to get his stride going. He's not shooting the best, but still up to an 80 overall. Aaron Gordon with 12, and then 12 from Naz Reid. So 11 and 9 from Tyus Jones, still doing his thing, and we get San Antonio in round 1. So San Antonio has Fred VanVleet, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner. Wow, the fact that they've pulled off everything that they have so far, they're looking pretty good. But I would love to say we're the better team, as we are going to lose in 7. Literally didn't even give me a chance to stop it. Like, seriously, we lost in 7 to San Antonio in round 1. Maybe I should have pulled off that big trade. Maybe I should have done it. Wow. Edwards just not even showing up. 7 for 20, 2 from 11 from 3. Lost in game 7 to a 6 seed. So disappointing. Well, I'm going to run it back one more season, I guess. We'll run it back one more year. So my first move this offseason to overreact to what just happened is I'm going to be trading Naz Reid and Jalen Noel over for John Collins. I don't plan on starting John Collins. If he could just come off the bench, we're also getting the 17th overall pick. I don't think we can complain about that too much. That's my first move. Even if I move Collins like small ball, backup 5, I don't know. I'll probably have him playing like backup center, I guess, just because I feel like he'll fit there the best. He'll be our brand new backup center, and hope that works out. Defensively, it may not be the best, but we're just going to make things happen, I guess. Let's just staff signing. We We got that all figured out. So let's just go straight to rookie signing. I don't even think we have a draft pick, but we got pretty much everyone locked under contract. We made that big move for Collins. That's just going to give us a better overall player options. We got Ron Holland coming back, qualifying offers, Wendell Moore. Wouldn't mind him. And I don't think we have any important free agents to worry about. We shall see. McDaniels, I guess, but he really wasn't playing for us like crazy anyway. So we have Tyus Jones, Edwards, McDaniels, Ron Holland, Aaron Gordon, Winnington, who we just got in the draft. And then, so yeah, Juwan Winnington. I don't know if I can really rely on him. So I think we'll probably bring back McDaniels and a good guard. So what did we have? We have McDaniels. I'm gonna bring him back, or Wendell Moore. Either way, I mean, one of them will be our backup forward, and then the other one, we need a backup guard, and I'll go with D'Anthony Melton. So D'Anthony Melton, we'll go with that, and that will be our offseason. So yeah, looking good. Collins was the big get, I guess. I don't know if it's gonna change anything, but at least he's a better overall. And then Melton, I'm gonna move to point guard because I know he goes up there, or he doesn't. He stays the same. Regardless, though, Tyus Jones, Melton, Edwards, Ron Holland, Wendell Moore, and then you'll have McDaniels, and then you'll have Cat and Collins. So running it back one last season. Let's go to player progression. We got eliminated in round 1 by San Antonio. We can't have that happen again. So let's see what progression is treating us like, and we shall see. So progression, you have Aaron Gordon up to an 83, Ron Holland is up to an 82. Tyus Jones stays, keep going up, which is great. So yeah, we shall see how this season goes. No one's going down like crazy. Aaron Gordon only went down 1, so we'll run it back. One last final season. Collins is the new backup big. We'll see if that changes anything. So at the end of this season, running it back one more year, Anthony Edwards actually wins the MVP of the league. 50, 82, and 47%, which is amazing. Ron Holland wins that 6th Man of the Year award. So close to giving him up. I'm kind of glad we didn't. It looks like he's turned up really well for us. And then Keontae George, most approved. And Nick Nurse, coach of the year, as we went 60 and 22. Edwards makes All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third. No cat or anything like that. And he does this make an all-defensive team? He does, all-defensive second team. So we are the first in the West, and this is our final chance. So player stats-wise, 30.5 from Edwards, 21 from Cat, 15.5 from Ron Holland, and 14.5 from McDaniels, 11 from Tyus Jones, 10 from Gordon, and 10 from John Collins, who we brought in and just magically made us better. I guess that's why Atlanta is always so good in the simulation. Regardless, though, you get Houston in round 1. They have KPJ, Jalen Green, Kuzma, Tari Eason, Jabari, Matt, Tobias Harris, and Cason Wallace. Here we go. Somebody clear around. If we lose in round 1, I'm done. We beat them in 4. W. Okay, now I get Oklahoma City. They got Shea, Giddey, Evans, Bagley, Holmgren, Trey Johnson, Jalen Williams. Very tough OKC squad. Wouldn't be surprised if we got eliminated here, but every time I click somebody current round, it seems to work pretty good. So I'm just gonna go with it, and we lose in 6. So I'm gonna end it there. Let's see who wins the championship, I guess, and we'll go from there. So we got the Blazers making the finals with Victor Wembanyama, and you got the Magic going on with the championship. So Jalen Duren, finals MVP. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys overall thought about the moves I made for Minnesota. Did you like the Tyus Jones edition? Should they trade Gobert? Should they trade Cat? Let me know what you guys' overall thoughts are on the Timberwolves. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. It's Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.